Meeting to order. Would all please rise. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic. Well, here we are again, gang. So I'll entertain a motion for the to approve the minutes from the January 10th meeting. Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Yeah. All those in favor, say by saying aye. Those opposed. Okay. Okay, we have some commissioners. One of the commissioners that's here would like to speak on the proposals. Preservation, historical, ARP money.
Yes, I'm sure you're all well aware that the city is trying to redo Crystal Beach swimming pool. And the mayor and the city came to the commissioners and asked if we would help in some way, shape or form. And we talked it over and thought it was a pretty good project because it not only helps city, county kids and folks go there too. And it would, be an icon to put it back. So we were hoping you would approve, we could use 70K of the ARP funds and then 25,000 per year for 20 years out of the historic preservation fund. That shouldn't tax it, too bad or complete. And that's basically my plea, spiel, whatever you want to call it.
Did you want to go ahead and cover the other two proposals on the Heritage Trail and the
On the 80,000 for.
and the Ohio Theater?
In the Ohio Theater.
Yes.
Can't find my email. I hid it from myself. Or shoot from the hip then, yeah. But yeah, I would like to say something about the Heritage Trail first, if I could.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with a gentleman who lost his wife in the flood in September. I will not use the name because here, but call him about once, twice a month. Called him about a month ago and he gets very emotional talking about his wife. And I said, "What are you doing right now? Got to meet you somewhere." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm on the Heritage Trail about the top." He said, "If you can huff and puff it up here." He said, "I've been going to this Heritage Trail and walking, take my mind off of it." So I just want to tell you how important that trail is to a fellow who lost his wife. And this, what Bob Green's doing and that committee.
Fantastic.
And he just telling me about huffing and puffing it. It's good for our community and kind of what the ARP money was kind of, for was to get people outside, get to doing things. So that and the Ohio Theater, that's the first place I went to a movie when I was,
You were shorter.
Oh,
than that.
yeah. A little more hair and all that. And I just want to see it keep going if we could. And, that money that we want to give them is to try to keep that thing going, build it up. And it's good for our county and city as well as Crystal Beach. So we feel pretty strongly about all of them.
Sure.
I don't know if any of you have seen the mural that they uncovered down there. It's on the ramp and it's on the west wall, but it's a lady in a gala dress, but she's got a parrot on her shoulder. And I swear, when you look at that, it's almost like that parrot, the artist, whoever did it, was phenomenal, but they want to restore that too. But I'm like him, I remember going to the Saturday matinees and they'd have the clinchers. You wouldn't know the end. You had to go the next Saturday on the westerns to see what happened. So I'm kind of revealing my age a little bit there. But we thought those were, and of course the Heritage Trail, Bob gets that match. He gets 2.2 million. So he'll explode with that. So anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Were the
Council
numbers,
members?
since I know you were going, just
obviously talking from your heart about those two projects, which are so important to, I think probably all of us in this room, but the dollars requested, I looked again today, I didn't see an email come to us. Has that what you've specifically asked for?
We've got it. Saw one to Ray there, what, last week, week before, just on the, oh, my brain did.
Just to review that again today, and I could not find that message.
The cool is what I was.
Any other discussion about those proposals?
Do have a question on historic preservation fund. What is the current balance in that fund? I know that was the fund that
We actually cut the special project line from because we were concerned with the money that's coming into that. I did send a spreadsheet with the, I don't know if it had the end date. I think it has 12/31/22's balance. And it had the revenue.
I got it.
429. 429.
Back in
Okay.
December.
Right.
4903.
4903, so, yeah, in 22, the balance was 417,955.
Yes.
So we already have a yearly commitment to the city of $45,000 in that as well. And then last year we added $9,000 for part-time help for the scanner, and then we had the scanning lease in that fund as well.
Because I'm looking at the 22 revenue of 47,000. We want to take the 45 already committed to the city and an additional 25. That's stream keeps being, well, it dropped 1 year there in the middle, but it's on a downslide from 18 to current.
Right. And the revenue is purely based on actual revenue of Belton.
We know going back 10 years, constant
It's been a
decline
constant.
because of the additional casinos in other states and other influencers. So just concerned about obligating $70,000 a year out of the account that has only been receiving on average the last 3 years of about 43,000.
I think it's a one-time request of 70
Yes,
and
yeah,
then
it's a one-time request for
25,000.
7. That's 25,000 every year.
Right, but the 45,000
45 is all the
obligated to the
revenue.
city,
Right,
and then 25 a year after that, that's 70,000.
Right.
continuous.
okay. But, the interlocal agreement, we need to get that squared away with the city so that they can start contributing to that fund as well. Is that correct?
To the animal shelter fund?
Yes.
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 Which I don't use that.
We have not received a contribution for 2023 at this time.
So,
Just looking at this with our current on-hand balance. We're 5 years to zero balance on that account.
Well, we've got 2 years into the interlocal with the city, right, when we had to do that for the safety tax to get that part, right?
Right.
So we're not, I mean, that's a little cushion there, right? 'Cause we're 2 or 3 years into that interlocal.
How long
That was
does
on
that
the jail side.
interlocal last? How long does that interlocal last?
Those are
I
20
thought it
years.
was for the bond. Is it?
yeah, just 20 years.
So it's
Looking at what? 18, 17 years left on that.
Right. And the revenue coming in is barely enough to cover that expenditure. So that's my concern. I always hate overtax of an account.
Yeah, I think it's a legitimate concern, and I think, we need to look at that to make sure we're gonna be able to. We may have to do it in 5-year increments, so that we don't, put the, county in jeopardy, but, I think it's a fantastic opportunity.
Or we could trim the amount back.
Yeah.
Where it's
Right,
doable.
right.
Do you want me to advertise any amounts
I'd like for,
for next
Yeah,
meeting? Okay,
you need a motion for that?
no, I had not received this request in time to advertise for this meeting. So do you want me to advertise just for the full amount of the request from ARC and,
that'd be 100,000 for Ohio Theater.
mhm,
That'd be 80,000 for Heritage Trail. And that would be 70,000 for the Crystal Beach project. And then do we need,
We need to adjust that.
20, then additional
Additional.
$500,000.
but I think maybe we need to
Right.
Right,
do a little bit of research on it. Yes, I think we need to hold on that,
okay, and then hold on.
On what
the
the,
25,000 a year until we get a chance to calculate how far out we can go safely without putting the county in jeopardy.
Okay,
What about the audit concerns? I know Heather, you sent something out about that. The auditing of the ARP, I know we were concerned about that at a 10% rate.
so it is advised to hold back at least 10%. I kind of did some quick math to see what we could spend up to, and this is within the amount to still have 10% held back. And then I look for us to. They told us that we would be audited early in the year again. Our annual financial report is due by March 1st. So I'm assuming I turn that in March 1st and they will be here shortly after. I would say by August, we would have a good feel as to how that audit is turned. And if we need to retain anything.
So we probably ought to just go ahead and do a motion for the 3 and then to table the 25,000. So if I can get a motion for that.
I don't think, we don't need one, do
You don't need it
Not
to
until next
advertise it?
month.
No.
Okay,
Not to advertise.
then we're good.
Okay. Okay, and then the next thing is me. I was just gonna go over real quick what, the advertising requirements are for the adjustments to fume funds. And I have to advertise the rates 2 times, at least 7 days apart, at least 10 days before the first hearing and 3 days before the second. And then once it is submitted, it must be submitted by May 31st, that we have done everything, and then I would have to do a no remonstrance statement after that. But it would be similar to what we did last year. But we will have to move fairly quickly over the next month as to what rates we want to move forward with, and this is to reestablish the Coombe Voting Fund. Which is a mandatory update that is going to be costly to.
They're requiring action for us.
I just
We just
need
need to
to
set a
know
timeline,
eventually
Plan on doing it next meeting?
if you are gonna have a hearing for next meeting, which. Probably March, because then April you would actually need to do the adoption. So, I will need to know at least 15 days before. Well, actually sooner than that, because I have to advertise twice.
No, you don't.
I don't know a rate yet.
Are we good on that, gang?
Sorry, I'm still looking.
Holding off and, so, yeah, I didn't, I have one question for the reestablishment of the confirm, one question for you, Heather, following the, state form that you sent, on the procedures, and on that. Okay.
Before the next meeting, I'll also be sending a policy template that we need to adopt a policy of recoupment for, for instance, the child support department is getting ready to change software and its way of processing, and they have some unreconcilable items that they've had on their books for 20+ years. That I believe it totals around $2,000, that we have to adopt the policy of how to reconcile those items off. And they were overpayments and bank charges that, like I said, are now 20 years old for child support. It's not really something that they could actually go back at this point and recoup. But we do have to adopt a policy at some point so that we are doing it the way that we have adopted to correct these things.
So what, who was that for? Did you say?
It will actually be for Tabitha.
Oh, for them.
They are getting ready to switch a program, and this has came up.
Oh,
So State Board of
we
Accounts
talked
said that
about
we
that
need to
personally, yeah.
make this adoption.
Will she be tasked to write this policy?
There is a template from State Board of Accounts
Mhm.
that we just
Yes.
have to fill in the blanks, so it's already completed, basically.
Any other questions or comments?
Just a statement, Ray, if the rate continues to come in on the historic fund as it is, at a $70,000 per year outgo. Around year 16, we're at a zero. So, and unfortunately, I have a feeling that number will only go down from between now and then, so probably 2 to 3 years shorter than that.
Thank you, Chris.
Well,
Any other questions for Heather? Thank you, Heather.
Welcome.
I think we're ready for Sheriff Flint.
The second, I guess the primary thing was the second reading for the ordinance.
I'm assuming I get to read it again.
Heather, I told you I would do that
I was
last
gonna
time.
say,
Okay.
I was gonna say, if nobody else offered, I will.
I told you I would do that.
If you guys would like to read. I will step away from it.
So this is the first paragraph?
Yeah, yeah, just where it says ordinance number.
All right, ordinance of the Jefferson County Council, Jefferson County Sheriff's Commissary Fund Supplement. Whereas Jefferson County Sheriff by and through the Jefferson County Council seeks to adopt additional provisions to the Sheriff's Commissary Fund, and these expenditures for the uses and purposes set forth below shall be in addition to and not in lieu of or replacement for the expenditures specifically authorized by I.C.36-8-10-21, B 1 through 8. Whereas Jefferson County by and through the Jefferson County Council wishes to add local provisions to the Sheriff Commissary Fund pursuant to IC 36-8-10-21. Now therefore, the Jefferson County by and through the Jefferson County Council adopts said provisions for additional disbursement of funds to include into the Sheriff's Commissary Fund pursuant to IC 36-8-10-21. D9, the following shall include advertising, reimbursements to staff for goods, pre-employment evaluations, Jefferson County community-based programs, special postage, office maintenance and or supplies, law enforcement memberships, inmate activities and cellular service as defined below. Section 1, advertising. Advertising shall include print and or radio and must include an activity or program of the Sheriff's Department intended to reduce or prevent occurrences of criminal activity and shall include public safety information. Section 2, reimbursement to staff for goods. Reimbursement to Jefferson County Sheriff's Office staff for items purchased for training and or used during training to include meals during training, attire for training, and for the actual training. Shall also include K-9 reimbursements for equipment, food purchase while at training. Section 3, pre-employment evaluations. Prior to employment, all Jefferson County deputies are sent to both a physical and mental pre-employment evaluation. All appointments are scheduled by the Sheriff's Office for potential employees. Section 4, community-based programs. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office participates in local community-based programs, i.e. holidays, parades, and festivals. Cost incurred should include participation fees, literature to pass in accordance with IC 36-8-10-21, 7, and goods to pass. Section 5, special postage to include United States Postal Service, FedEx, and UPS articles that need to be sent with special delivery instructions, special postage and or first-class delivery. Section 6, office maintenance and or supplies for special projects like carpet cleaning, waxing, stripping floors, additional cleaning supplies, and painting of offices. Section 7, memberships, law enforcement memberships to include Fraternal Order of Police and Indiana Sheriff's Association memberships for the entire Jefferson County Sheriff's Office staff. Section 8, inmate programs. Inmate activities include annual events, i.e. additional food purchase for work details and or programs, assistance with obtaining general education diploma and any type of recreational equipment. Section 9, cellular phone bill. Cellular phone bill with mobile phones, hotspots, computer accessibility throughout the county and services incurred. Section 10, meals. Pay for the meals during special programming, classes, and or training. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect from its passage. Further, this ordinance shall become a chapter of the Jefferson County Code of Ordinances, a designated chapter when said code is adopted. And is that it? Okay.
So since you guys have read it a second time and you guys could make a motion to forego the third reading and make a motion to adopt the ordinance today.
I make a motion to forego the third reading.
And I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I'll second.
Okay, go ahead. Garrett seconds.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, carries.
Send one of trees and. Couple now.
And then just if I could add a couple quick little things. We are looking to make a medical contract change for our medical care provider within the jail, as well as the food service contract change. Both of these are expected to fall within the parameters and the guidelines already within our budget. So it's just more of me letting you guys know that that may be an option that we're looking at. It's just gonna be a better quality service and, to include on the medical realm, we're potentially looking at getting 24-hour medical coverage once we get up into the new facility, which gives us a better benefit. Because we have a lot of nighttime, you know, you get DUI arrests, you get more drug-related arrests. People come in under the influence, and it'll give medical staff the ability to be there when these issues transpire. So it cuts back liability on the department as well as the county. So I think it'll be a benefit for us. And then if I could get on the schedule for the next meeting, would like to, two things I'm kind of passionate about at the sheriff's office, and unfortunately, not due to anybody's fault, but I wasn't involved in the budgetary, you know, parameters of this last budget going into this current fiscal year. But there's two things that I would really like to approach. One of them, we are currently entertaining and in the process of looking at a 50-50 matching grant, actually for new body worn cameras for our officers on the road, and the software that runs it, the software that we can download it, the software to maintain it, so we don't have to use our own servers and we don't have to store all that data, because all that data has to be stored for
The duration of whatever the crime is.
yeah, so if you're murder or if you're a high level felony, then we have to maintain that at the sheriff's department. With this new company, they would hold it in their cloud and they maintain it and they hold on to it. So we don't have to worry about sitting there, and every so often we just go through and we can click what we want to get rid of and they take care of it. It also gives the prosecutor's office the availability to access our system. And it makes it more cohesive to work with the prosecutor's office because they can see what they need and they can pull it off as well. There's also been talk with the prosecutor, and I think he's willing to chip in a little bit for the program as well. So I can get more into the weeds on that when we do the official reading, if you will, next meeting. And then the jail. So we've been trying to revamp a little bit down there, and the last policies and procedures manual that we can find that was done was in 2010. So we're over 13 years overdue on those. And with that being said, there's been obviously a lot of case law, a lot of legal updates, a lot of statutory changes in 13 years. So I can only imagine how outdated those are. And I would like to bring in some information of a company that just recently did the SOPs for us on the roadside, and bring that information into you guys, where they will also do and take care of our jail as well. And they'll get us up to speed. So then that way it cuts back on possible litigation issues, us being sued. Because I want to get our officers trained up to the level they need to be at, but it's hard to train them because a lot of police related training is based off of policies and procedures. And if you go and you try to teach a taser class and you say, we have to use our taser in accordance with policies and procedures, they say, well, what are those? Well, they were written 13 years ago. So it's not up to date. It's not current with the new equipment that we carry. So it's kind of antiquated, and it's hard to teach that, and it's hard to bring their training platform level up, which leaves us kind of in the wind at the end of the day, because we're liable if they do something outside their scope. So I want to try to get that caught up ASAP. So then that way we can get that implemented, and, ultimately the proposed price, I guess, would be less than, to do the policies would be less than one civil tort claim. So I guess we'll look at it that way. So those are the only two things, and if I can get those put on the agenda for next meeting, then we can bring that in and see if there's anything that you guys would be willing to do to help out those two programs.
Would it be possible to get proposed, prices on those?
Yeah, we already have, I mean, I have them, I just, was gonna do it in an official reading, so then that way I'm not wasting everybody's time.
Could
And
you,
we're also looking into a potential grant, as well to help out with the policies and procedures. So I hope to have that information back by the next meeting, so I'll be able to give you a more definitive answer.
if you could email those to me prior to,
Mhm.
I'll share that with the council.
Okay. Not a problem.
Okay.
Any other questions for the sheriff's department?
And it may not even warrant any highlighted changes for the food service contract as well as the medical contract. And even if it's just, oh, we're getting this now, but we're not paying for this, or this is one small change, here's the expected amount, change in cost. If that warrants an email to us to give a little summary of those two, I don't necessarily know if the council needs to read the entire contract. I'd be happy to send it, and we certainly can, but if there's any highlights for those two, obviously good to hear, interesting about the 24-hour coverage and potentially, and I know did we not go from one nurse practitioner to two?
Not a nurse practitioner, we have
Oh,
one
one
nurse
to two.
practitioner, and then we have two full-time nurses.
Two full-time now.
And then, one of the ways they kind of get around is, like on your nighttime to help lower that cost. They will provide you with a paramedic level certified individual instead of a nurse. So you get, you don't have to pay the nurse rate. Paramedics a little bit cheaper, but like they proposed to us, you know, most paramedics have probably been on scene of traumatic incidents and overdoses and stuff throughout their years of working on the road. So they're probably more in tuned for that line of work, in the evening time. And your nurses are there more for your, you know, sick calls and your, med passes and stuff like that. So it works out in the end. Of course, everything's speculated, you know, price wise, because we don't know exactly the numbers and everything in the new jail. That's all kind of up in the air, but we'll have to kind of play that as we go. Cause it's kind of hard to get a finite number when we've never turned the key and opened the door on the place yet, so. But other than that, that's all I have.
And the food service provider would not change until we're at the new location. Or this
It
is
could change, I think they're
a
at
calendar
30,
year contractual.
they're a 30-day out.
Okay.
Most, so the two, the medical and the food service, they're both, from my knowledge, they're both 30-day out contracts, so they just request a 30-day out notice.
The medical contract also includes that medical company potentially starting a JCAP program for us,
Oh, providing the coordinator for it, yeah.
which we don't currently have a coordinator for that. So mental health is a portion of their actual services. So to just go with what you were saying, I can send over the proposal with all the stuff that we don't currently have that they do provide in that contract.
Did you get your Dell situation taken care of?
The what situation?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes, we did.
Good.
Yeah, it's paid.
Good.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we're ready for transfer.
Okay, we do not have any transfers. We do have additional. The first additionals that I am going to read, they were all submitted by the health department, but they are all grant related. So the first is 11/59/001/02/1000 COVID prep for $50,000. 8106/0000300.00 emergency preparedness for 25,000. 810700011200 nurse for $9,006. 810700017100 FICA for $690. 810700017200 PERF for $6,400. 810700017400 insurance for $9,000. 810700021100 supplies for $18,068. 810700032300 travel for $2,200. 810700003200 for $38,270. And 810700044100 equipment for $4,000.
We'll entertain a motion for that as presented.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
and, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
The next additional is for animal shelter donations. Each donation comes in these categories. So we're just putting that money in the expense line so that they can use it for bills. The fund is 410300101100 for spay and neuter for $4,000. 41030010112000 for rabies and general medical for $1,500. And 41030010112000 rabies and general medical for $1,500 again.
We'll entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve.
And a second,
I'll second it.
all those in favor, say aye. Those opposed, like sign.
I think she
Two
submitted,
separations, those were two separate.
they are
$15
separate,
donations.
so she submitted it to me. 1,500 for rabies and 1,500 for general medical, but it's the same line, so I left it separated.
One more, okay.
And then since everything was approved, then I do need a motion for resolution 2023 in the amount of $169,634. And yes, on our email, the total is wrong.
Okay, I was gonna say it's not what I had.
But if you look at the advertised amount, I forgot to change it whenever I sent you. Ray's is correct, because you picked it up in office.
Yes, it is. So, we'll entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023-03.
And a second, please.
I'll second that.
And I'll entertain, all those in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, likewise. It carries.
And that total for the resolution, read one more time.
$169,634. If you could just pass maybe yours around, Ray.
Yep.
For everyone's side.
I'm sorry, Heather, one more time on that. I got the 78,000 I'm looking at. That's, so it's 169 what?
169,634.
Okay, thank you.
Here it is.
Report. There's an odd format now, it's not. I'm sure Megan's treasurer's report. Looks like everything that comes to the years, and I was not able to open it.
Did it not come as PDF?
It
Came as
did
a
not.
crystal report, maybe?
It's a scanned, it's a specific type of scanned document, it's a PDF. So I, shocker me now for that, I just didn't know if there was a.
You didn't forward it to
Somebody
me,
else.
but I'll make sure you guys get a copy tomorrow.
It was the January, the report, yeah, I can't even tell you here what type of, yeah, some funky things they wanted me to download, just open, and I thought, okay, there's gotta be an easier, I just didn't know if anybody else was able to open that.
Didn't receive it.
Yes. Special attachment. I couldn't open.
Bobby, how is the animal shelter doing? Good.
Under your thing. You know, I think. Last commission meeting, she told me she only had, what, half a dozen cats? Of course, the dogs are all bringing. That's why I'm getting better.
Done a great job promoting adoption and bragging on adoption on social media, and that always causes interest, that's wonderful.
Mhm.
I'm really proud of one of my girls in the run sites for the community impact project. They chose the animal shelter. And those 10 third and fourth grade girls at Whittington collected a big stack and supply of donations for the animal shelter. And she came and picked us up at the school, and we got a picture taken with them. And so yeah, I just think highlighting those things will continue to work with more donors, and yeah, it makes folks feel good and want to give, and reminds people of appropriate items to give that they need. Yeah.
Really, the amount of donations coming in is really phenomenal.
It seems like at least 4 or 5 times a week, it pops up on my Facebook, there's a new adoption. And that's and just having the picture of the animal and the person that adopted them, that goes a long way. Yes.
I think a lot of that's atmosphere up
Yeah, well,
there now.
are the vets still coming in
Mhm.
and checking on them?
Yeah, they trade off, one different vet every week, comes up.
Pat did reach out to me about the ordinance to reestablish the fees. I think he's, willing to move forward with that. So you might check your email and see if he's reached out to you about that. If not, I'll forward it over to you.
Second one just came yesterday.
Yeah, I think yesterday he
Yeah.
reached out to touch base on that.
And I got a quick question for Bobby or Ron. What's the status on the state of Indiana and disaster relief for the flood relief? Since the federal government denied us FEMA fund?
I haven't heard from Troy on that.
Yeah, just Troy and Bobby are still working, I guess, adding up the, like you can't turn in debris removal, so they had to delete that, they had to change that and then resend. That's the last I heard.
Okay, but it's in the state's hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all up there now.
Good. Any, public comments? Department heads or
I will tell you, I was out to jail yesterday and I'm trying to remember when we guys out there, October, is that the last time you toured? But anyway, it's really amazing. It's taking shape now. I've got to mention the administrative offices and stuff are done. And,
The outside's looking really good.
right, it doesn't really look like a jail, I don't think, per se. And we've got a lot of the forms poured for where the sidewalks are poured and we call them dough biscuits for the parking lot. But anyway, they'll be finishing that up. And we've started receiving quite a bit of our, they call it FFB, but it's actually jail equipment. The furniture, the chairs, the tables, and I reached out to Harold and he's gonna let us, the shipments be received in the old Robus Appellant factory. So once we get to the point where we can get in those offices, we're gonna take that stuff in. So we're gonna continually try and stay ahead of the game. So the kudos to Harold for letting us do that. That's a big benefit being that close.
I did have somebody reach out to me and ask if they could tour the jail, or you plan on doing a public tour or?
Oh, I think we need to have one that's released to us for anybody's in there and let everybody see what kind of quality,
Yeah.
efficient
Make a day of it or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
facility it's gonna be.
Charge money to let them stand behind the bars.
High school.
Should take it.
High school was there too.
Yes.
County did that with their jail. Charged $100 a night to let you stay, which you can have all my $100 you want. But that's a thought, you know.
It may,
several
$thousand.
Yes, yes. I don't wanna hear that door shut. It's scary. It's almost as bad as hearing an 870 rack in the. I don't wanna hear it.
I say set up those trips for the schools too.
That's a good thought. Good thought. We're getting closer every day. It's amazing the shape it's taking now.
I want to thank commissioners and department heads for being here. And, thank you very much. So is there anything else that the council needs to discuss? If not, I'll
I do
entertain.
have a question.
Okay.
What are we gonna do with the old jail?
We're working on it.
We're working.
Bed and breakfast. Okay.
It's gonna be someone, or if someone in there. Rather than all.
We're thinking it's probably, and I'll go out on a limb, it's gonna have to be utilized something like what it is now. Or maybe juvenile detention or correctional or work. I'm just throwing this out there because you're looking at millions of dollars to go in there and try and rehab and do anything. Plus, we're gonna need some of it for your holding when you transport the inmates down as they go across. So we'll have to have a little bit of that, and, you know, to keep for that, but there's several possibilities we're pursuing at this.
So not a bed and breakfast.
Probably not.
I don't think it's got the air like Jesse James stayed here or something like that, like
You want to stay there.
Arizona.
Population at the facility right now.
You're looking at about 143.
Okay, gang, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second. Chris, all those in favor?